My 10th grade year, our football team made the playoffs. And on Tuesday, we were watching film on the team that we were going to play that Friday. While I was sitting there watching the film, I had a piece of ice hit me in the back of the head. So I picked it up and threw it back in the direction that I thought it came from. I hit a guy named Eddie Cooper. I got word that Eddie was going to beat me up. So let me unwrap this for you. Eddie was a senior, 6'4", 285 pounds. I was a sophomore, 5'9", 160 pounds. So I came up with a plan. I was going to hide out in the locker room until Eddie left. And that's exactly what I did. I hid. Well, that Friday, we had a half a day. So at noon, I left and went to a friend's house. And guess who was there? Yep, Eddie Cooper. He hit me. And with one punch, he chipped the bone in my left eye. He knocked the top of the tooth off. I had to get 7 stitches and a root canal from one punch. Now, since you feel sorry for me, maybe shed a tear or two, I want to tell you about another schoolyard fight in the Bible. It was between David, a young man, a teenager, and Goliath, a champion, a man. And this story is found in 1 Samuel. But before we read the scripture, I want to give you a little bit of backstory to what was going on. The Philistines and the Israelites were facing each other. And the common practice of that day was that a champion from each army would face each other in battle to the death. And whoever won, that army would win. And this was a way to save soldiers' lives. So for 40 days, Goliath stood and challenged the Israelites, but no one wanted to come out and fight him because they were scared. David was back at home taking care of the sheep. His dad told him to take some food to his brothers. And while he was there giving his brothers the food that he brought, he heard Goliath. David looks around like, why isn't anyone going out there? I'll do it. People were thinking, it's your funeral. You go. So David went to go out to face Goliath. After some trash talking, the action began. And that's where we're going to pick up the story in 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 48. When the Philistines started forward to attack him, David ran quickly to the battle line to meet the Philistine. David put his hand in his bag, took out a stone, slung it, and hit the Philistine on his forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and he fell face down to the ground. David didn't back down. When Goliath charged him, when Goliath ran towards him, David ran towards Goliath. I'm sure he didn't get too close because one hit from Goliath, it would be over. Kind of like between Eddie and I. David had faith in God that he would win this victory. David had faith in God that he can charge, he can win the battle over the thing that was in front of him, that was taunting him, that was challenging him. And in our lives, we all have giants. We all have things that challenge us. We all have things that taunt us. And like David, we need to charge after those things. We need to face those things because God will give us the victory.